Yo, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Devon Terrell in raw form, and welcome to another Help Me Devon raw tutorial. And today, in this Help Me Devon raw tutorial, I'll be showing you guys 4 simple steps on recording the best vocal, getting the best out of your vocal in 4 simple steps. Let's get right to it. Okay, so the vocal that we'll be working with today is this one. I'll play it for you right now so you can get an idea of the vocal and how it sounds.
Twisted, smoking, faded. It's 4 in the morning, don't wanna talk about it. I had to leave you at home, had to tell you about yourself, cause you bringing up all that old stuff. Who is she and why is she hitting you up? Last time you did this stuff, you wanna find and it was nothing up.
So I used my Rowdy Rich vocal template, which is available at helpmedevon.info. If you want to follow along with me, you can get it. The link is in the description below. And basically, that's just a recording. That's straight out the gate. I didn't really do anything else to it. I just recorded it straight into my template, and that's the vocal sound I got. Now, the first step into recording the best vocal, and the first thing I always think about, is dressing my mic. Now, what do I mean by dressing my mic? I mean things that you're accustomed to, like pop filters or mic shields. For instance, for me, I'm using something called a mic shield. And the reason why I'm a very big fan of mic shields is because for some of us, we don't have the liberty to have an acoustician come into our studio and acoustically treat our rooms. So some of the best ways that, or the only ways that we have to combat reflections coming into our mic, or a lot of the room tone or the rumbles from your computer, is using mic shields. And what the mic shield does is it limits those things. It tones them down. Does it get rid of it completely? Sure, it doesn't. The best thing to always have is a treated room, but this thing really helps so much in covering your mic, putting it in a nice solid space so that it doesn't have so many reflections coming back into the mic when you do big yells and it slaps off the wall and comes back to your mic. And that's something I noticed in a lot of amateur recordings. So dressing your mic, putting the proper things on your mic, a pop filter for the plosives, and something like a mic shield if you have a really bad room to record in. Dressing your mic is really important. Okay. Next thing that I'll tell you guys about is your recording level. And this is a question that I get all the time about you guys. You guys always ask, what is the best volume to have my vocals coming into my computer at? And when we say this, we're saying how loud should your mic be, the preamp, and coming into the computer. So what are the peaks? So the way I judge it is, what are the peaks of my vocals coming into my computer before any plugins, before any of that stuff? The answer for me personally is -10 dB. I like my vocals to peak at -10 dB. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's go over here. I'm going to open up this plugin so you can see. And I want you to pay attention to my meters. Look at my meters very closely.
Twisted, smoking, faded. It's 4 in the morning, don't wanna talk about it. I had to leave you at home, had to tell you about yourself, cause you bringing up all that old stuff.
So you can see that my vocal is peaking at -10. I have it, the loudest part of my vocal, I have it coming in at -10. Now, why did I pick this magic number of -10? The reason why I like -10 is because it's a number that isn't too far from the top, which is the distortion ceiling, as you say, because you know anything over 0 will distort. And the reason why you don't want to record so low is because you don't want things to be so close to the noise floor. Now, when I say this, it's because if you have a vocal that you record really low and it's really towards the bottom of the noise floor, when you start to boost with compression, EQ, and all kinds of other processing, you're going to introduce even more noise, or you're going to boost that noise that's coming up. That noise comes from the electronics in your equipment. Even in really bad equipment, you can hear a lot of noise. Or if you're using really old style equipment like analog recordings, you'll notice that when you start to boost, you'll hear a lot of noise kind of coming up from the floor. So you want to record at a level that's a lot more, that's farther away from that noise floor, so that you can avoid boosting that type of stuff so much when it comes to it. Now, the reason why obviously I don't record so hot is because I don't want distortion. Now, when I start adding processing like compression, EQ, I don't want to start boosting and that stuff starts going over 0. So same exact concept. I'm just trying to avoid distortion with the recording level, and I'm also trying to avoid getting noise into my signal. So -10 dB peaks is what you should do before any plugins. -10 dB peaks is what you should try to go for when recording. Some people may have different variant of that, but I'm just here to show you a concept and give you what I do. Okay? All right. Let's move on over. So now the next thing and this is actually extremely important, and it's the distance from your mic. Number 3 is the distance from your microphone. And the reason why the distance from your microphone is so important is because, one, there's something called a proximity effect. And what the proximity effect is, the closer you are to the microphone, you'll notice you have a more bassier sound. Now, what I've noticed with a further back vocal is it sounds a little bit more open. It sounds a little bit more bright, but you might be getting a vocal that sounds a bit thinner. So you try to find a sweet spot where you're getting the good bass parts of the voice and you're also getting a nice open sound on the voice as far as the top end. So I'm going to show you 3 different vocals. One is the sweet spot, which is about 3 inches off the mic where I found. Another is very far from the microphone, and another is extremely close, so you can get that idea of the proximity effect. So let's do it like this right now.
Twisted, smoking, faded. It's 4 in the morning, don't wanna talk about it. I had to leave you at home, had to tell you about yourself, cause you bringing up all that old stuff. Who is she and why is she hitting you up? Last time you did this stuff, you wanna find and it was nothing up. Twisted, smoking, faded. It's 4 in the morning, don't wanna talk about it. I had to leave you at home, had to tell you about yourself, cause you bringing up all that old stuff. Who is she and why is she hitting you up? Last time you did this stuff, you wanna find and it was nothing up. Twisted, smoking, faded. It's 4 in the morning, don't wanna talk about it. I had to leave you at home, had to tell you about yourself, cause you bringing up all that old stuff. Who is she and why is she hitting you up? Last time you did this stuff, you wanna find and it was nothing up. Twisted, smoking, faded. It's 4 in the morning, don't wanna talk about it. I had to leave you at home, had to tell you about yourself, cause you bringing up all that old stuff. Who is she and why is she hitting you up? Twisted, smoking, faded. It's 4 in the morning, don't wanna talk about it. I had to leave you at home, had to tell you about yourself, cause you bringing up all that old stuff. Who is she and why is she hitting you up? Last time you did this stuff, you wanna find and it was nothing up. Twisted, smoking, faded. It's 4 in the morning, don't wanna talk about it. I had to leave you at home, had to tell you about yourself, cause you bringing up all that old stuff. Who is she and why is she hitting you up? Last time you did this stuff, you wanna find and it was nothing up.
Okay, so you heard those 3 vocals. One was a sweet spot where I found I had the base of the voice, the top end of the voice, and it sounded pretty clear and nice. One was very far away, and if you notice in that one that was far away, it felt thin. It kind of had this brightness to it, but it felt extremely thin, and I heard more of the room, which I let in because I was so far away that everything was kind of coming back in. So that's a good idea, a good reason why I don't like to record that far when I'm in a room that is not the best treated. Mind you, we had the mic shield. If I didn't have that thing on, it would sound even more roomier and worse. And then you had the very close one, which sounded very bass, but it was kind of dark and it didn't have an openness to it, and it felt a little bit more closed in. So I found my sweet spot around 3 to 4 inches off of the mic. It was nice and open, had the bottom end, and it sounded great. So distance from the mic is actually very important. Some of you that might feel like, dang, I'm recording super close to the microphone and it sounds dark and closed in, that's probably your reason. You're probably recording way too close to your microphone. A good way to train yourself is get your pop filter, pull it off of the mic, and stay right there, because you can't go any further if the pop filter is that close. So try to pull your pop filter to a nice place and say, all right, this is it. And this is how you can fight it with your clients as well. Put the pop filter off so they're not so loud into that microphone. It's a great thing to do. Okay. And for our very last thing is recording with processing. And I know a lot of you guys ask this question as well. Should I be recording with compressors, EQs, reverbs on, etc.? Guess what I say? I say yes. This is why I use my own templates like this Rowdy Rich one. I want to hear my vocal pristine. I want to hear it clean. I want to hear what it sounds like. A lot of people say, well, should I do that? Well, understand this. Since you're not using analog equipment to basically bring into the your recording, as far as plugins is concerned, your plugins aren't burnt into that recording. Your plugins are something that you can turn off and on whenever you please. So you're not married to these presets and things like that when you're recording. So it's nice to have that flexibility. So for me, I like to record with my compressors, EQs, everything on. This is why I do the templates and why I actually allow you to buy these templates and stuff like that, because they're great for recording. They allow you to get the feeling out, because when you hear yourself in great quality, it's it brings out a better performance in the artist. So I always say it's fine to record with processing. It's amazing. It makes it better. Put the reverb on, put the brightness of the EQ in, get a nice rough feel of how it feels so that you can get the best recording. So that's basically the 4 steps that I always follow when it comes to recording the best vocal. I hope this was helpful. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Also, remember, you can download the Rowdy Rich template at our website, helpmedevon.info, right in our bio, Rowdy Rich type vocal. And just email me if you have any comments, questions, or concerns at helpmedevon@gmail.com. Make sure you follow us at helpmedevon on Instagram. And until next time, you guys.